Assalamualaikum and greetings students. So welcome to the ninth chapter of this MKT 243, which is promotional mix. So chapter 9 is going to be very long, and I have divided this chapter 9 to two videos. So later on you will be able to see there's a part 1 and also part 2 in this chapter 9. So for the first video here, I'm going to cover only the first four, okay, up to this 9.4.1, and later on in the second video then you'll be able to see that I'm going to cover 9.5 until 9.7. So promotional mix, okay, promotional mix is actually the third P that you gonna learn. Right, the first two that you have learned about your 4 P's is the product, which we have covered in chapter 5 and also chapter 6. And then on the place, we have covered in chapter 7 and also chapter 8. And the third P, which is the promotional mix, okay, I'm going to cover in chapter 9, and later on next week we'll cover chapter 10 on the pricing. All right, so let's get started on chapter 9. So I'm going to cover on promotion mix itself, right? And then we are going to also to look into what are the goals of the promotion, the AIDA concept, and the definition and also major types of advertising, right? And later on, you'll be able to see that the first promotion mix is actually advertising, all right? So let's first get started on the promotional mix itself. So promotional mix, okay, or the promotion mix is the communication by marketers that gonna inform, persuade, and also reminds the potential buyers of a product in order to influence an opinion or elicit a response. Okay, so there are three important keywords here: inform, persuade, and also remind. Okay, so promotional strategy is actually the coordinated plan for the optimal use of elements of the promotion. Okay, so the promotion mix itself are actually the elements of promotion. So sometimes they use the element of promotion, sometimes they use the term promotion mix, okay, or sometimes they use the word promotion strategies. All right, so they are actually basically the same things, which are advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, and public relations. So like I told you just now, the combination of various promotional tools, okay, so this is another term that use tools, yeah, is called the promotion mix. So again, these are the same thing: advertising, public relations, sales promotion, and personal selling. Now let's first look at what are the goal of promotion. So why do company do promotion? Okay, why is it important for us to do promotion? So promotion actually seeks to modify behavior and also thoughts in some way and to reinforce existing behavior. Thus, there are three goals of the promotion, which is to inform, persuade, and also to remind. Like I told you just now, it is in the definition of promotion itself, which is just now, it is the communication done so that we can actually inform, persuade, and also remind the potential buyers, right? So inform, persuade, and remind. What is inform? To inform is basically when you give, okay, some kind of informative promotion, which generally more prevalent during the early stage of the product life cycle. Do you still remember what's the early stages of product life cycle? Basically, is in the introduction and growth. All right. So when it can increase demand of the product category. Right, so informative promotion also explains the purpose and also benefits of a good or a service, because you want to inform people, tell public or tell the potential buyers or your potential customer what is your product all about, right? And for more complex product often require informative promotion that will explain more on the technical benefits, right? Next one, to persuade. So you know what is a persuade? You know how to persuade people or not? Right? So persuade, okay, which you do persuasion. The second promotional task is simply attempting to motivate a consumer to purchase or use more of the product. So you want to persuade people to buy your brand, basically, okay, and buy more of it, right? So persuasion normally becomes the primary promotion goal when the product enters the growth, okay, of the product life cycle. Growth stage, right? And also the aim of persuasion here is actually to convince the customer to buy the company's brand. Like I told you, you want them to buy your brand, not the competitor's brand. Alright, and lastly, to remind. Okay, the third goal, the first one just now to inform, second to persuade, and the third one here to remind. So a reminder promotion is also normally used to keep the product and brand name in the public's mind. Okay, so you want to get them to always remember your brand, okay, or your product. And reminder promotion is common during the maturity stage of the product life cycle, and the purpose as a reminder, okay, so that it will actually triggers the memories and make people still know that the product is in the market, you still sell it, and always remember the brand, not just any other brand, right? Now, before we go to the first promotion mix, which is advertising, let's get to know the AIDA concept. Okay, AIDA is a classic model for reaching the promotional goal, which stand for attention, interest, desire, and action. Okay, so you remember AIDA now. AIDA, who is AIDA? AIDA is attention, interest, desire, and action. Alright, that will outline the stages of consumer involvement with the promotional message. Alright, so basically this is actually a process. Okay, the concept where it comes with the process to see where is the state or the stage, all right, where customer are thinking, okay, or about to buy your product or not. All right, so if they're not, then you first must get their attention. If you already get their attention, then you must hold their interest towards the product or the brand. Okay, and you must arouse their desire. What desire? To purchase. And when you obtain the action, this is the action actually to purchase the product, right? Now, like I told you just now, the first thing you must get, if when you want to do promotion, yeah, the advertiser or the promoter must first gain the attention of the target market. Alright, so you must create attention. Normally attention comes with a very big poster, a striking color, a very loud noise. Alright, so people can get attention. Like for example, when I clap my hand, so you perhaps might get the attention because you heard a very loud sound, isn't it? So the attention is when you are trying to get customer to put their face or their eyes towards your product. Okay, that is first thing, which is to get the attention. Secondly, to create an interest in the product. Now you already get their attention, all right, they get to look into your product. Now how can you make them be interested on the product that you are selling? So you must quickly do a lot of what they call it, explanation, or a very winning point they call it, or the good point about the product, so that people are having the interest to actually get to know more about your product. Interesting, interesting, right? So what makes you think that the product is interesting? Right, so you must show all the benefits, okay, what this product can do, so that you can actually hold the interest of the potential buyer. Next is the desire. Okay, so this is when you want to make people having the desire to purchase the product. Okay, some people, yeah, I'm interested to buy, but not yet, so you don't want that not yet. Okay, you want them to have the desire to actually purchase the product immediately, like now. All right, so this is when you are able to actually tell the public that you have to buy now because this is our last unit, for example. So that is when they feel that, oh, okay, I must buy now or else I will not be able to get the product. Or you might say that while stocks last, all right, or where you may also say is that it is for the first 100 customers only, right? So that is when they are actually having the interest. Just now you already got it, and now desire, okay, the desire to own the product immediately. Alright, and which then leads to the final step, which is the purchase decision process, which they take an action to actually buy the product. And this is whereby the exchange process will take place. That means the buyer buy, or not the buyer, the potential buyer actually buys the product. Okay, so that is AIDA concept. Remember, attention, interest, desire, and action. Now, as a promoter, right, or as a marketers, okay, it is your task actually to determine where on the purchase tab that most of the target consumers are located and design a promotion plan to meet their needs. Sometimes people, when they go out, right, they wanted to buy things, they already have the attention towards certain product, okay, and they also have the interest to buy the product. It's just that the desire there to actually buy which brand, okay, because there are many brands in the market. So as a marketer, you must know whether is this particular potential buyer is actually trying to get an attention, or should you actually give them the interest or make them the desire to purchase your brand, or is it they already do their homework, all right? It's just that they want to come to the shop just to validate. All right, validate meaning to say just to confirm what I've read, what I've heard about the product. Can you show me all the things because I want to buy? So the moment you see, or you can tell that the customer is saying that I want to buy this product, kind of thing. So you know they already have the action. All right, so it can also work in the way that they have the action, but then you want to make sure that they buy your brand, all right, not the other brand, right? So that is AIDA concept. Now, promotion tools and also the AIDA concept. Now, like I told you, there are 4 promotion tools. So promotion mix, advertising, public relations, sales promotion, and also personal selling. So AIDA concept can be done in any of these, right? So each promotion tool will be more effective at certain stages of the hierarchy of that particular effect models. The effect model is the AIDA concept lah. Right? So advertising, it is a common, or it is more effective in gaining attention, okay, because advertising is just to basically getting people to pay attention, because advertising can be very how to say, striking in terms of the color, or in terms of the sound. It could be very loud, or it could be something that capture your attention on advertising. Okay, it can be done in many ways that we're going to learn later on. All right, while public relations has the greatest impact in gaining attention for a company, good, or a service, okay, while sales promotion is more effective in creating strong desire, okay, and also purchase intention, while personal selling is most effective at creating customer interest, okay, for a product and for creating the desire. Okay, so let's first look at advertising. Okay, in advertising itself, we're going to learn what are the major types of advertising and also the decision in advertising. Now, so what is actually advertising? By definition, advertising is a one-way impersonal mass communication about a product or organization that is paid for by the sponsor. When you talk about advertising, it is not one-to-one, but it is one-to-many. All right, that means there is a company which we call here the sponsor, the one who paid for the advertisement. Okay, that is the sponsor, will actually communicate about the product in mass media. Okay, mass communication means in mass media or mass communication. All right, of course it includes your social networks and also social media, right, about a product. And it is one way because you cannot respond to the advertisement. Yeah, the advertisement will not answer you. Okay, as you watch an advertisement on YouTube, for example, you talk to the advertisement will not talk back to you. All right, it can be also a poster. All right, advertisement can be also a poster or a billboard, all right, that you can see on the along the roadside, or even in front of the building and so on. Okay, so when you talk about advertising, yeah, this is some of the what they call important elements about advertising, which cost per contact is very low because advertising can reach such a large number of people. However, the total cost to advertise is typically very high. When you talk about cost per contact, what is actually cost per contact? That means cost per contact means total cost divide with total cost of advertising, yeah, divide with number of people who view that advertisement. So that is what cost per contact is. Okay, for example, let's say the total cost for you to produce a video on YouTube so that you can advertise your product is perhaps 10,000. Okay, 10,000 ringgit for you to hire the producer, you know, the sound editor, sound engineer, the actor or actress, or the multimedia software engineer, and so on, right? So you will have to pay them, and then also you put it on YouTube. The cost is 10,000, but then that is very high, right? Not 10,000 ringgit is very high. But when you talk about cost per contact, that means how many people actually watch YouTube. Okay, there are millions of people, isn't it? Right? So your advertisement can be exposed, right, which can be viewed by millions of people. So you do the maths, 10,000 divide with, let's say, 10 million people watching that particular advertisement. So cost per contact will be very low because it reached a large number of people. Understand? Okay, we move on to the two major types of advertising, which is institutional advertising and also product advertising. So institutional advertising is basically an advertisement to build image of the company rather than to promote a particular product, right? While product advertising, it is to actually display the benefits of a specific good or service. By the name itself, institutional advertising is of course about the institution, right? But while product advertising is about the product. So in product advertising, okay, we're going to concentrate more on product advertising later on. You will see while this institutional advertising has four important audiences, which are the public, investment community, customers, and employees, all right, as well as future employees, yeah. And a unique form of institutional advertising is called an advocacy advertising. Now, this is a way for corporations to actually express their views on some controversial issues. All right, and many advocacy campaigns react to some criticism or blame, media attacks, or even impending legislation. All right, so advertising on this institution can be about the company itself or the institution itself, or it can be done in a way that the corporation express their views on some controversial issues or even any other issues. Or it can also be some causes. Okay, causes, that means that particular organization actually supports certain cause, right? For example, no smoking kind of campaign, all right, or uses the e-wallet kind of campaign, all right? So that will be the institutional advertising. While product advertising, okay, so there are three types of product advertising. Number one, pioneering advertising, which is intended to stimulate primary demand for a new product or product category. And then you have the competitive advertising. So the goal of this competitive advertising is to influence demand for a specific brand, okay, which is often used when a product enters the growth phase of the product life cycle. And comparative advertising, which compares two or more specifically named or shown competing brands on one or more specific product attributes, right? So the advertiser will often make use of the taste, price, and also preferences to claims in the reference to the competition in this comparative advertising or the competitive advertising. I will give you an example of these three pioneering comparative advertising in your Google Classroom, that you will be able to see the link, yeah, as well as this institutional advertising and also advocacy advertising. Okay, please watch those particular videos that I have shared in your Google class, yeah. Now, the last part of this first video is on media decision in advertising. Now, when you talk about advertising, right, there is what we call a medium, okay, which is a channel used to convey a message to the target market. Now, there are many channels, okay, or the medium that you can use to advertise, which the company will actually decide on where do we want to advertise. right? So media planning, okay, is important, which is the series of decision advertisers make regarding the selection and use of media to communicate the advertising message to the target audience. So you have to bear in mind, first you have the product. Now you must remember who are your target market, and you have to remember to which medium or to which channel that the target market are always exposed to, right? So that is when you need to understand first what are the media categories. Okay, when you want to decide where to advertise, you have to know first there are actually four types of media categories. First one is broadcasted, second is printed, third is online, and fourth is others. Now, can you name me this medium? This one is actually broadcasted, yeah? Right, so this one could be online, this one is over the TV, this could be the printed, okay? This one is on your phone, right? This one could be others, okay? So, overall, there are 7 types of media, okay? Which 1 and 2, newspaper and magazine, are considered as printed, okay, because you print it on newspaper and also magazine. But now when you talk about e-newspaper or e-magazine, then it will be about the online, okay, category online. So you have to understand now, broadcasted is actually TV, okay, on TV, while printed is actually something that is print on paper, okay, print on paper. But if let's say e-newspaper or e-magazine, then that will be online, other than of course your social networks, okay, whatever there is online on your phone, okay, on your yeah lah, on your phone online lah, on your laptop of course online. And others are not about these 3, okay, which we call it the OOH, out of home. Okay, so newspaper and magazine is printed, radio and television is broadcasted, internet is online, out of home, okay, is others, and also alternative media. So let's get to look into all of this. Now the first one is newspaper. Of course you know newspaper, right? Although you don't see it nowadays, the physical newspaper, but when you talk about this newspaper, I'm explaining about the physical paper, yeah, the one that is on paper, right, printed. So newspaper advertising has the advantage of geographic flexibility and timeliness, okay, because newspapers will reach a very broad mass market. Although if let's say your target market are teenagers, you will not choose newspaper because teenagers, they don't read newspapers. Do you? You don't, right? Now, in some other places, yeah, some other countries, newspapers are still considered important medium or types of media to be used, okay, depending on, again, target audience, okay, or your target market. Remember your target market, do they read newspaper or not? If they do read newspaper, then you might want to use the newspaper for you to advertise your product or service. There is a term cooperative advertising, okay, in which this is an arrangement where the manufacturer and retailer split the cost of advertising the manufacturer's brand. Now you have the manufacturer and you have the retailer. You have learned this in chapter 7 and 8, right, or not, about manufacturer and also retailer. Now what they do is actually they split the cost of advertising of the manufacturer brand. Basically retailers will do this, okay. I think if you ever read a newspaper, then you'll be able to see that there will be an advertisement, for example, a Guardian advertisement, okay, to show what are the products that is on sale, or the top best product that is on sale on that particular weekend, for example. So you see Guardian is the retailer, and then the items, all right, the items that they actually show in that particular advertisement includes a lot of other brands. So these are the brands, are the manufacturer's brand, okay. So what they do, they split the cost, I mean they share the cost to advertise the product, because sometimes not all the products that is on the advertisement that shows on sale are not available in the store. They are still available in the store, okay. It's just that they don't share the cost of advertisement because they don't want to advertise together with other brands, for example, right? So when you go to Guardian, you see, this brand also on sale, but then it is not in the newspaper advertisement, right? You got what I mean? So that is what is actually cooperative advertising, because some manufacturer will want to participate to share the cost of advertisement together with the retailer and also other manufacturers, right? But some others, they don't want. So still people will go to Guardian, and when they go to Guardian, they will also see other brands, right? Okay, so that is cooperative advertising using newspaper. Now when you talk about magazine, do you read magazine? Okay, I'm talking about the physical magazine, yeah. You know, like Clio magazine. I don't know. Nowadays, you also have, let's say, your K-pop magazine, right? I think they are a K-pop magazine. So magazines are actually often targeted to a very narrow market, although they may offer very high cost per contact. Cost per potential customer may be much lower. All right, because when you talk about cost per contact here, because no magazine are not being produced as much as newspapers. Yeah, newspapers, yes, they normally produce like 10,000 copies, 50,000 copies for the nationwide, right, edition. But when you talk about magazine, perhaps they only produce 1,000 units. Okay, because again, not many people buy magazine nowadays, right? So the cost per contact could be perhaps higher. Again, cost per potential customer will be lower because it's not cheap to advertise in the magazine itself. Same goes as when you advertise on TV. All right. Next is radio. Radio can be directed to very specific audiences, has a large out-of-home audiences, because normally when will you listen to a radio? When you are driving, right? No? So that is when you are not at home. You are driving, then you listen to the radio, then you are actually listen to some of the advertisement. It has low cost, low unit and also production cost, because it's cheaper than what they call it, advertising in the TV. Okay, production cost is not that much because you don't really have to hire a lot of actor or actresses. All right, and it is timely because you know the slots or the time that you can actually advertise in that particular radio, and it can have also a geographic flexibility because radio station is based on the frequency of that particular location. So if your business is in Kuching, so you know what will be the frequency of the radio in Kuching. Let's say Hits, for example, Hits FM 95.3, isn't it? Was it 93.5? I forgot. It's auto set on my car. Anyway, so you know if it's in Kuching, what will be the frequency. So if your business is in Miri, then you must know what will be the frequency in Miri. And that is when you have this geographic flexibility on the radio advertisement. Okay. Next is TV. Okay, let's look at TV. TV can be divided into networks. Okay. Independent station, cable channels, and also direct broadcast satellite TV. Okay. Networks are just a network lah, like when they have a channel, not a channel, a network where it has a lot of channels, right? Like ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. Okay, they have many other channels in that network, so that is what I call the network. All right, independent station. All right, independent station where you have their own TV, like we have our TV Sarawak, for example. So that is an independent station. Okay, a cable channel. Okay, a cable channel. Like the what they call it, using the cable. Last time you use cable, nowadays we don't use, like also TV1 RTM, for example, they don't use cable anymore. Now it's all on direct broadcast satellite TV. Okay, this is when they use the internet TV lah, right? So like I told you, cable TV. Okay, cable TV is the largest if it is in US lah, right? TV reaches a huge market, but both the advertising time and production costs are very expensive. Okay, and there is also one they call infomercial. Okay, on TV you can do advertisement where you call it the infomercial, which is a 30-minute or longer advertisement. They are very popular because of the cheap airtime and the relatively small production cost. These infomercials are normally aired during the time where people don't really watch TV. Okay, normally after the midnight. okay, or early in the morning. And even now, there is a trend that they actually created a channel just for this infomercial. Like when you have Astro, for example, then you have the Astro Go Shop. Is it? Is it Go Shop? I think Go Shop, right? Or CJTV, right? Where when you on that channel, right, you go to Astro Wow Shop. Is it? There is a Wow Shop also, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, or that particular Go Shop. So every time they will actually advertise about the product. Okay, they will do some demonstration, if you want to buy now, then you can get this and discount, right? These are how the product works. They even show demonstration about how to use the product, benefits of the product, and so on. All right, so that is actually infomercials. Okay, where the length or the duration of the advertisement are longer compared to the normal advertisement that is typically about 10 seconds, 20 seconds max. Yeah. Next is the internet. I think this one you really know about this, which advertisement on the internet includes not only just the space, okay, like Google, right? The moment you will search for something, for example, then the first few results are actually paid advertisement. The first few links, yeah, you can try to search a hotel in Kuching, for example. So the first few results in Google that shows hotel in Kuching are actually, you can see ads. That means those are the results that are being paid by the company itself or by the hotel itself, so that people will typically click the first few links that you can see, or the result that you can see from the search engine. All right. Web advertisers also become more targeted with their approach to advertising by studying the clickstream data. So this is whereby they know, especially when you talk about your mobile phone, yeah. So your mobile phone actually keeps some cookies. Cookies not in the jar, yeah. These cookies are actually the big data kind of thing, whereby they will save some of information that you Google. You try, you Google, you go to search engine, Google, right? You Google the hotels in Kuching, or you can also try flights to Kuala Lumpur, for example. So you go and search, okay, you click few of the website, and then you close that particular Google, you go to your Facebook or you go to your Instagram. You will automatically see that as you scroll your feeds, yeah, there are advertisements about hotels in Kuching or flights to Kuala Lumpur. Okay, you can try to do that, because this is whereby the web itself, yeah, keeps some cookies or the data, whereby they know what you are looking for. Okay, especially you can try this also. You go to Zalora or you go to Shopee, you click on certain items and you think that you want to buy, you love it, you like it. Okay, you put in your wish list or you put in your bag. Okay, you have not checked out yet. And as you go to your Instagram or you go to your Facebook or you go to other places on the internet, there will be advertisement about the product that you just look at. Okay, so this is what is done by the big data lah. Okay, the clickstream data. So that is how it helps the advertiser to actually know what is this person is looking for. All right. And yeah, somehow or other people would say it is actually an intervention of your what they call it, privacy. But that's how people get to know about the product, and it always remind you, oh, do you have this? You would like to buy this one. Actually, you wanted to go for a hotel in Kuching. You are still looking for some hotels in Kuching. All right. So they keep on showing up all those things, all right, so that you will make the purchase. All right. Next one, out of home. Okay, or sometimes it is outdoor advertising, which is a flexible, low-cost medium that may take a variety of forms, such as billboards. Okay, when you see a billboard, then you know, oh, this is OOH, out-of-home advertising. Okay, we don't really have here in Malaysia skywriting. Skywriting is actually an advertisement whereby it is using the smoke from the plane, okay, or having a banner brought by the aeroplane across certain area. Okay, we don't really have that in Malaysia lah. Ads in and own modes of transportation. This one you can see a lot on your bus. Okay, bus DG, for example, or bus hotlink, is it, or even a lorry. Lorry normally, if it's a, it's a Nestle lorry, because there is a Nestle ice cream covered that particular lorry, for example. Is it lorry or truck? Or truck lah. Okay, so that is actually also an advertising using this outdoor. Okay, or you can see banner along the road. Okay, or the LED panels. Okay, where it reach a broad and diverse market, so everybody will be exposed to that particular thing. So as you go around the Kuching area, you'll be able to see the banners, okay, the LED boards, okay. So those are actually out of home advertising. Okay. Next, the number 7 major types of media is the alternative media. So alternative media are done includes using the fax. Okay, nowadays not many people use fax anymore lah. Fax machine, yeah. So you fax. Last time when I was an intern, I do a lot of faxing. Fax to a lot of companies about the product that I did in my internship lah. All right, and then you have the video shopping carts, okay, electronic place-based media, interactive computer advertising, and also cinema and also video advertising. This one is when you walk through, let's say, an aisles in a shopping mall or in a supermarket, then they show you some small electronic board about the product at that particular aisles. All right, so that is actually alternative media. All right. These are also include paper bags, your whatever free gifts, okay, that you give to people. So that is actually an advertising as well. So when you use that paper bag, people get to know, oh, there is that particular brand, okay. Or you make use of the interactive computer advertising, such as it pops up and leads you to some games, for example. You know, when you play games, right, then there is a advertisement before you go to the next level, so you have to watch the advertisement for 3 seconds or 5 seconds, and you want to get more coins, and you have to watch the whole advertisement. All right, so that is also alternative media. Okay, so these are some of the example. OH, out of home. Okay, I know it's not so clear, so this is like Shell petrol station, mobile petrol station. Okay, this is on the bus. Okay, this is a LED panel in the mall. Okay, this is in the train or in the bus. Of course, you can see, oh, this is actually a watch. Okay, this is a billboard on the building. Right, this is skywriting. Okay, whether you bring a big banner or big balloon like this, or using the smoke, yeah, by the plane, done by the plane. We don't really have this in Malaysia lah. Of course it's expensive. Okay, so this is like alternative media, like in the shopping mall where you have that shopping carts. Again, we don't really have this in our country. It's just that we have that poster, right? Not they put it on that particular shopping cart. That's it, right? Okay, the last part of this particular chapter, we talk about the media selection. Now, you already know what are the media that are available for you to do advertisement for your product. Now, you need to understand which one to choose based on, first one, looking at the cost per contact, okay, to reach one member of the target market. How much will it actually cost? Okay, of course, you want it to be cheapest lah, right? And then the reach. Reach will refers to the number of target consumers exposed to a commercial at least once over a period of time. Okay, such as, for example, in a 4-week time, how many people, how many reach, how many times were people actually exposed to the advertisement. Okay, with the word frequency, it is the measure the intensity of coverage in a specific medium. Okay, which is the number of times an individual is exposed to a brand message during a specific time period. Reach and frequency here is that reaching is whether it is actually shown. Okay, shown, reach. Like, okay, when you talk about, let's say you watch, I don't know, do you watch Gegar Berganza? I don't have Astro nowadays. I don't watch Astro nowadays. So what happened is that during that particular let's say how many hours? 3 hours. Okay, so within the 3 hours, all right, every time there's an advertisement, right? Okay, you're talking about in that 3 hours, so the reach, how many times will people be able to reach? How many breaks, how many advertisement commercial break will they have? Okay, for example, within the 3 hours, there will be 10 commercial breaks. Okay, so the reach is that 10 times. Okay, 10 times it will actually reach the consumer. But when you talk about frequency here, this is the intensity of coverage. That means within that 10 10 times, right? How many times will actually people will be watching your advertisement? Okay, will it will be normally decided by the TV producer, okay, which advertisement they want to put. Is it the first commercial break? Sometimes they don't put in the first commercial break, so they put it in the second one. Or if you want to make it in every commercial break, then you will pay more, right? If not, then it will be like perhaps only the first or interval section, all right? And when you talk about audience selectivity, okay, you need to understand the medium's ability to reach precisely defined market. Because some medium, they reach a broad market, but some of the medium will only reach certain or precisely selected defined market, like a magazine, for example. Okay, a magazine, for example, magazine Pa and Ma. You know Pa and Ma magazine? Pa and Ma magazine is for parents, yeah, parenting magazine. Of course, things that are being advertised in Pa and Ma magazine are related to babies. So it actually precisely define the target market here, which are the parents of the babies, because your products are babies products. Okay, so audience selectivity is that if you want to know about more about this babies product, then you will be exposed in that particular magazine a lot of advertisement on the baby products. Okay, but when you talk about newspapers, for example, you put your Pampers advertisement, for example, there. But then not all father and mother having babies will read the newspaper. And those people who don't have babies also read the newspaper and will be able to reach and also expose to the advertisement. Okay, so it will not be well defined or precisely defined market, but it reach broader market for a newspaper. But for a magazine like Pa and Ma, it will actually precisely reach a defined market. Alright, I hope you're able to understand here. Next, continue. When you talk about flexibility, okay, flexibility of a medium, it can be extremely important to the advertiser. Flexible here in a way that whether you can actually change the language, alright, or is it gonna be a certain period of time? Can you make it longer, or can you have a very shorter version, or do you have specific duration? Especially when you talk about advertisement on television, yeah, they already have some specific duration for you to advertise. Okay, typically it will be about less than 40 seconds. Okay, because not many people want to watch the advertisement that is very long. Okay, even on YouTube, for example, um, they will have like 5 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds that you before you can actually click skip, right? Okay, that is when it is flexible, where people can actually watch the 5 seconds, and then if they think the advertisement actually captured their interest to watch until the end, they will not put skip. Okay, language, okay, if it's on YouTube, normally they will have some subtitle that you can actually look into, but on TV normally there is no subtitle, but you can actually put also the subtitle lah, right? And then what else? When you talk about noise, okay, noise level, this is the level of distractions, all right, to the target audience in a medium itself. Okay, please ignore the dog barking. Yeah, dog always want to support me. Now, when you talk about noise, this is not noisy like the dog barking just now, but it is the distraction whereby when you are exposed to the advertisement, it is not just one advertisement, but there are many. Okay, what makes people remember your advertisement? So the noise level is the distraction. For example, when you flip the magazine, right, there are many advertisements in the first few pages of the magazine. So those are distraction. Okay, you will always stop to the product or to the brand or to a page whereby you actually get the attention. Okay, the particular advertisement are able to actually make or create your attention so that you will be reading further about that particular advertisement. Or It can be also on TV, for example. You will normally be exposed only to the first advertisement, because you know, oh, okay, now is advertisement part or commercial break. So you are watching your drama, TV3 drama or Astro Ria drama, whatever, Cinta, whatever Cinta. I never follow any drama anymore. So you follow that particular drama and then suddenly, oh, an advertisement. So you are exposed to the first one and then not even finish watching that first advertisement, you go to the toilet, you go get some food, okay, you go some drinking, or you watch, or you check your phone, right? Not, and then the rest of the advertisement will not be watched by you, okay? And then you think, oh, okay, it's long enough already. Now it's time for me to watch back the TV. So that will be some level of distraction, okay, that happen in the advertisement. And lastly, the lifespan, which means the messages can either quickly fade or persist as tangible copy to be carefully studied in the future. Okay, so lifespan means how long will the advertisement last? Okay, normally on radio you can't keep that advertisement, okay, or even on TV also, then you will be able to watch on TV. Sometimes if you're lucky, then you can you can YouTube it. You see, oh, there is an advertisement, this advertisement on YouTube. Okay, in the newspaper, for example, newspaper, they are very perishable, because newspaper don't last long. Okay, you know, the quality of paper is also very low. Okay, and the carbon that they use to print that particular newspaper also will fade away, so you can actually keep the newspaper, unlike magazine. Okay, yes, you can actually keep magazine and still be exposed to that advertisement. Okay, magazine paper quality and also printing quality is much more better, which you keep that magazine for 10 years, for example. After 10 years, you can still open that magazine and see that advertisement again. So that means the lifespan of advertisement will be very long for a magazine, but not for a newspaper or on radio. Okay, on the billboards also, it will not be lasting, okay, because they normally change, okay, or even on the bus also, they will normally change the color of the bus and so on, because they don't want to make it like dull, or people get bored to see the same thing all over again. Okay, so once they take it off, the stickers on the bus, okay, then they will put a new one, so then the old one will not be able to be kept. All right, so that is what it means by the lifespan. So when you want to choose an advertisement, you should be able to look at these particular considerations. Yeah. Okay, this one is done just now. Done. Okay, so we have finished the first part of this particular chapter 9. You'll be able to see the second the second part, where I'm going to cover the last two promotion mix, which is the personal selling and also public relations. No, the three one, right? Three. Sales promotion, personal sellings, and also public relation, right? I hope you're able to understand what I've shared with you here. If you have any question, please ask me in our chat group. Yeah, bye guys.